The remaining brass length is placed in the reversible rollers to be reduced in thickness. This is usually done with 4 people, 1 person each on the handles and 2 perpendicular to feed the material through the rollers, forwards and backwards. Never use the rollers for any material other than metals specified by staff. Carefully handle the brass as thickness is reduced for each percentage due to the edges becoming sharper and potentially causing cuts. The material often curves in shape as thickness reduces, sometimes forming a C shape. Avoid having hands trapped between the edge of the brass and the equipment. If it does form an exaggerated C shape, allow the brass to fall to the floor and retrieve. If the brass falls from the rollers, do not attempt to break its fall with your feet, especially if you're not wearing safety shoes, as it can impale itself or bounce off a shoe into someone's ankle and potentially cause a gash. Additionally, when retrieving the brass from the floor, those holding the roller handles should be cautious not to drop the cast iron heavy handles on the head of the retriever. The handles should always be lowered carefully to a resting position and not released, as they can swing, potentially striking a nearby person. This process of rolling is repeated a number of times. The dial at the top can be turned to reduce the gap between the rollers when resistance of the handles turning decreases, thereby reducing the thickness. The brass has its thickness measured at regular intervals until the target thickness is achieved or as close as. Under rolling near the target thickness is preferable to over-rolling the brass for each thickness target. When the target thickness has been achieved, repeat the previous steps of cutting a 50 mm square sample from the percentage reduction to conduct a ductility test, as well as a corner piece for a hardness test. When all the percentage reduction results for ductility and hardness have been obtained, put these into a table. Also plot hardness against ductility on a graph.